Hi, welcome to this video series on how to create an audio recognition system using the ACR Cloud C SDK. Once again, my name is Ayuba Ojonugwamuazu. I'm a software developer from Africa, Nigeria, and particularly I develop softwares using the .NET framework, more especially the C programming language. I also have expertise in ASP.NET, creating web applications, and Visual Basic.NET. And then I use third-party controls like DevExpress in creating some of my projects. And then I also have experience in JavaScript and other scripting related language. But basically, I work with the .NET framework. So in this video series here on how to create an audio recognition system using the ACR Cloud C SDK, I'm going to walk you through this exciting project this exciting SDK rather that the ACR Cloud project team has put together. So we are going to see how we can create a kind of fingerprint for our musical for our music or our recorded audio. We're going to see how we'll create a certain kind of fingerprint for it, where that fingerprint will be kind of unique for each audio content that we play on our system. So that's what we are going to create, and then we're going to look at this SDK that has been created by ACR Cloud. So I'm going to talk about the ACR Cloud company itself, and then I'm going to talk about ACR itself. If you don't know what ACR means, ACR means automatic content recognition. So we're going to look at this exciting technology, and we're going to see its application and how it's affecting our everyday walk of life. So like I said, once again, my name is Ayuba Ojonugwa Muazu. You can view some of my video tutorials on the education ecosystem. I did videos on blockchain, and I also did videos on the .NET programming language, particularly C#. So stay with me while I take you through this course. Thank you. Hi, welcome to session 1 on this video series on creating an audio recognition system using the ACR Cloud C SDK. My name, one more time, is Ayuba Ojonugwa Muazu. And here we're going to, in this session 1, we're going to talk about the automatic content recognition, of course, which is the ACR. And we're going to discuss what ACR means. We're going to see how ACR works. And then we're going to see the different algorithms that are applicable to ACR technology. And then we're going to look at ACR applications. And then we're going to look at the ACR Cloud itself, which is a platform that we are developing from their SDK. So that's what we're going to discuss in this session 1. So first of all, we're going to start with what is an ACR. So as I wrote it here, automatic content recognition ACR is an identification technology to recognize content played on media device or present in a media file. The ACR technology enables users to quickly obtain detailed information about the content they have just experienced without any text input or search efforts. So just think about it. It's like, just if you can think of like having an app where you can just hum a song, and then from what you've just hummed into that app, it can search through the app's database and bring out the content of the song you've just hummed. That's just an example of how the ACR technology works. So basically what it is you search a kind of a music database or any content, any media content database without actually putting in any text inputs. You don't search for like the name of the artist, the title of the song. You just search by the song content itself, the media content that is being played. So it's like you playing a media content, just a small part of the media content, maybe the first 2 seconds, for instance, or the first 10 seconds of the media content, and then the information of that media content is displayed to you. So that's what automatic content recognition is all about. So ACR can help users deal with multimedia more effectively and make applications more intelligent. So we're heading to a stage where we don't really need to input text before we are able to get information about a media file. So we can just get information about a media file by a sample of the media content itself. So now, how does the ACR works? You can see this image depicts how the ACR technology works. So it's like a very large database, a very large music database, probably millions and millions of musical files, and then these musical files are extracted using a certain kind of fingerprint algorithm, and then to create another database, another very large database of fingerprints. So each of the musical file or the audio file, it's a fingerprint is generated via a kind of a fingerprint algorithm, and then that fingerprint is created into that fingerprint is inserted into another database. So if it's done like that, I don't know if you've used this application Shazam before. You can check it out on Google Play Store or iOS. You can see it's they use the ACR technology, so you can check it. So now it's, for example, let's look at here. It's like as a user records X sounds of current music, and then this fingerprint algorithm is taken from that, and then fingerprints of the record of what you just recorded here as a user. For instance, let's say we're using the Shazam apps. You just record a sound of the current music, and the fingerprint of the currents of what you just recorded is picked, and then through the Shazam frontal servers, for instance, you ask for the associated music with the fingerprint. So the Shazam frontal server now checks if the fingerprints exist from this very large database of fingerprints of millions and millions of musical database that has been inserted here. So if the fingerprint exists, it returns the associated music. So that's how the ACR technology works. So instead of imputing text here, you actually record maybe a certain seconds of the current music to find the musical file. So the fingerprint algorithm processes the signal of audios and extracts digital features called fingerprints, and for each of the audio. So fingerprints are very discriminative, so the system can use them to identify the audio they belong to. Fingerprints are also robust, which means they can resist the environment noise. So if you're using this kind of app like the Shazam, for instance, it resists environment noise, and this makes it possible to identify recorded audios in rather noisy environments. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the audio has to be very sharp and very clean. So it's kind of ignore environment noise. And then if the system finds matched fingerprints, just like I explained here, of a querying snippet, it can determine the most like audio in the database and give position of the snippet in the source audio. The mission of ACR is complete when the system finds the match. So basically, this is how the ACR technology works. So now that we've seen how the ACR technology works, we're going to look at the ACR algorithm itself. Now, there are several kinds of ACR algorithm, automatic content recognition algorithm, that are out there, but the most significant of them, the most important of them, is the audio fingerprinting. We have audio fingerprinting, we have audio watermarking, we have image watermarking. But since we're creating a music and audio recognition system using the ACR Cloud SDK, we're going to talk more about the audio fingerprinting, which of course it's the most effective as it is today, that has been tested and is the most effective. So the audio fingerprinting, an audio fingerprint, let me just read what I wrote here. An audio fingerprint is a condensed digital summary deterministically generated from an audio signal that can be used to identify an audio sample or quickly locate similar items in an audio database. So it's just like we have the database of fingerprints, like I said, the audio fingerprints, for instance, we have them. So it's a condensed digital summary. The audio fingerprinting algorithm is a condensed digital summary. So if you look at this picture, each of these black dots here, it's like the audio fingerprints of this particular sound. So this is what the algorithm will generate, and it will generate a kind of fingerprints that will be stored in that database. So after long-term exploration by research institutes and companies, audio fingerprinting, like I said, has been proved to be the kind of most stable, effective, and widely applicable algorithm of ACR. Now, for watermarking, the lack of watermarking is that it requires inserting inaudible or invisible digital tags containing information about the content into the content itself prior to the distribution. For example, a broadcast encoder might insert a watermark every few seconds that could be used to identify to broadcast channel, program's ID, and timestamp, and this is not realistic and flexible for most applications. So the audio fingerprinting is actually the most realistic and flexible for most application. So like I said, the black dots are like the audio fingerprints if you just look at this intuitive picture representation of it. So and the how the audio fingerprints, the workflow of the audio fingerprint, it's something like this. For example, you can see this is an unknown audio, for instance. Using the audio fingerprinting, the fingerprint extraction is taken, and then it searches the database. If it finds a matching fingerprint, then audio information, then it displays the audio information metadata. So what we're going to do in this tutorial here, once we come into using the SDK, is we're going to follow something like this. We're just going to take an audio, and then using the algorithm that we have that is included with the C SDK, we're going to search through the database, and then if we find a matching in audio fingerprint, then we display the metadata, which is going to be in JSON format. So that is that. So once you're able to search through this database and bring out the information in JSON format using what we're going to learn in this video tutorial, then you can use it to create amazing applications. You can create mobile applications like Shazam. You can create video recognition applications yourself, maybe mobile video recognition applications yourself, where a user just have to play a small X contents, maybe just a small seconds of the video, and then the video information will be completely displayed. So that's the workflow of the audio fingerprinting. And if two files sounds alike to the human ear, their audio fingerprints should match, even if their binary representations are quite different. Audio fingerprints are not bitwise fingerprints, which must be sensitive to any small changes in the data. Just like I said, the audio fingerprint, it's not sensitive to noise. So, and it's not like a bitwise fingerprint where any small changes will change the entire data. No, the audio fingerprints, it's more like, it's more like a condensed human fingerprint. Let me use that word. It's not really like a bitwise fingerprint. So that is how the audio fingerprint work, and that is where we are going to focus more. And of course, you can use the audio fingerprints to identify songs, like I said, identify songs, melodies, and tunes. You can use it even in copyrights, compliances, licenses, and other monetization scheme. So you can create a kind of application that you can use the audio fingerprint technology algorithm to get copyright of media files that are being played. So if a media file is not authorized to be played, you can create a kind of app that will restrict all those unauthorized access to certain kind of media file using this technology. And if I can even go further, you could mix this technology with a blockchain where you can store all fingerprints of media files in the blockchain. So since the fingerprints of the media file, it's just going to be like a long text, which is just going to be like a text, not the audio file itself. You can store the text of that condensed fingerprints into the blockchain, and it can be global. So you can think of an app like that. But for now, we're just going to use the C SDK of this to look at how we can get an audio information from an unknown audio that will be played. So that's about the workflow of the audio fingerprint. And then the ACR applications, like I said, can be, it has different applications. You can use it in content identification, broadcast monitoring, content enhancement, and audience measurement. In content identification, it can help audience retrieve information about the content they watch. For example, you can like nowadays you see smart TVs that, if you just watch the first few seconds of a particular TV program, you get to see the information about that program, or you get to play the first few seconds of music or a sound. You get to see the information about that music, the artist, the album, and all that. So it's applicable in content identification, and of course also applicable in broadcast monitoring, where broadcasters can monitor information of content played on TV and radio, like time of play, duration, frequency, etc. And it's also applicable in content enhancement. Additional information can be presented in user, since you can use like a two screen. ACR can enable variety of interactive features such as polls, coupons, lottery, or purchase of goods based on time stamp. Then of course also applicable in audience measurement. Real-time audience measurement metrics are now achievable when you apply ACR technology into smart TVs, mobile devices, etc. to quantify audience consumption. So these are just example and applications of ACR technology. So now that we have known what ACR technology is, and we've seen its application, and we've seen the algorithms that are being used for it, let's talk about ACR Cloud, which is the company we're going to talk about. Now, ACR Cloud is the first open cloud platform of automatic content recognition services based on audio fingerprinting technology. So ACR Cloud is a company that that uses the audio printing technology, to recognize media contents on the cloud. So ACR Cloud provides various audio recognition services for various requirements, such as finding music by sound, monitoring media on radio and TV, detect TV channels for multi-screen interactions, copyright detection, and etc. And the workflow of the ACR Cloud is like this. You have contents, and then these are media contents like music, videos, and rest sounds. And then you ingest this content into buckets. This bucket is like a repository. So this content is being ingested here, and then we have the fingerprints of each of the contents here, and then you create projects with buckets. So we're going to do this. So we're going to create projects from this bucket and then interact with SDKs and licenses. So we create projects here from this bucket, and then we interact with the SDKs and licenses that this company ACR Cloud is providing. So the ACR Cloud, it's actually an awesome technology, awesome company. And then we're going to look at how we can use their SDK to be able to receive audio inputs and then query a database and bring out information about the audio that we have played. So that's about ACR technology, automatic content recognition, and the ACR Cloud company itself. So next we're going to look at creating an audio recognition system using the ACR Cloud. So thank you very much. Welcome to this session 2 on this video series on creating an audio recognition system using the ACR Cloud C SDK. My name once again is Ayuba Ojonogwamwazu, and in session 2 here we're going to be creating an audio recognition system using the ACR Cloud itself. So we're going to log into the ACR Cloud platform, and we're going to prepare and set up your accounts, your ACR accounts dashboard. So that's what we're going to do in this session 2. So just go right ahead and go to just open your browser and go to www.acrcloud.com. So you can open here, and then you can read through the website to see what it's all about, and you can see that it's in line with what I was saying when I talked about automatic content recognition in the previous videos. So you can see they say they have over 68 million music fingerprints database, and third-party IDs supported. So third-party IDs like Spotify and different music. I think YouTube too, like that. So you can see they say let's go up a little bit. So monitor media in real time with broadcast monitoring service. So these are some of the services they have. You can identify songs, you can monitor media in real time, and then you can TV channel detection services for interactive TV apps, and then you can recognize media content on TV for second screen apps. So they have the services, and then of course you can improve user experience with offline audio recognition services. So they all have this, and data deduplication and copyright compliance services. So these are all what you can do with the ACR Cloud technology using these using the automatic content recognition service. So these are companies, these are their clients and companies that support them. We have Alcatel, we have Sharp, we have Cartoon Network, and we have Deezer, and of course we have Alibaba Group. So and you can read what people say about it. Now, once you can browse through the site and get to learn about them. So the first thing we're going to do, if we are going to create the audio recognition system itself, it's we sign up. So you can just click the free trial, you go here, and then you can sign up. So you just click this. So well, I'm signed in, that's why. So I'm signed in and this is my account. So you can sign up and enter the necessary credentials. Like for me, I'm signed in, and this is my name, Ayuba, and then of course I can view my account. So once you sign in, this is the first thing that greets you. You get to see the dashboard, and then it tells you you get to see tutorials. You can learn different forms of tutorial here, but for today we're going to recognize custom audios and videos. So we're going to put our own audios and videos and recognize it. So the first thing first that we're going to do is to create an audio and video recognition project. So we'll go right ahead and click this place. So good. So you can see these are two projects that I've created. So after clicking here, we're going to create an audio and video recognition project. Like I told you, if you look at the previous diagram, I told you how the ACR Cloud works. I said you create a project, then you create a bucket, and then you can add your video files there. And then of course your apps you can now call the SDK. So that's what the image I depicted in the last video depicts. So now you can just come here and then you click create projects. So now when you click create projects, then you can just give the project a name. Let's say education, just say education music, so let's just say education music. That's the project we are creating. So that's the project we are creating, education music, and then we go right ahead and click so you see it says audio source, how to choose client and audio source. So let's choose this recorded audio captured via microphone or noisy audio files, and then we have this line in audio of original file or stream without noise. So let's just select the first one. Now bucket, it says select the bucket which you want to identify the results from. Now I've created a bucket before, I call it test upload, and then we'll have the ACR Cloud music as a bucket. So we can actually go right ahead and create a bucket before doing this, but for now let's just create the ACR. Let's just check the ACR Cloud music as the bucket that I want to use. And then of course you can enable third-party ID integration. If you click this, it will it means you can put third-party IDs like Spotify, YouTube, and the rest. So if you click this here, it should show you the different third parties that are, let me just open this in another tab. So it will show you the different third parties that you can view. Let's just view the third parties and see. So good. This will take you to the tutorials, the documents in which you can look at it. So of course it's okay. Frequently asked question about a third party. Well, you can just look at all this and just read about it, the frequently asked questions. So let's just close this here. So let's we're not using any third party for now. So education music, and then let's click create. Oops, there are some problems with your inputs. Your project number exceeds limits. Please contact support. Okay, I think they just wanted me to just create only one project. Okay, so well, since this is a free trial, probably this one getting this error. So let's close this, but basically this is how you create this. So I already have that, which is the first one. You can see this is the same way I created the first one and the second one. Now if you create it, if yours is successful, because I'm on free trial, if yours is successful, then you can refresh. If you don't see your interface looking like mine, you can just refresh the page again. You can just refresh the page again. And then I created a project name with music recognition. This is the host. So if you refresh, you get to see the hosts. This is my hosts, identify EU West, and then it will show status check. If it shows this check mark, then that's okay. Then you have your access key and then your access secret. So this access key and access secret and the host is very, very important. So if you click on each one, you get to see the details down here. Now you will see the project name, music recognition, access key, and of course this one I chose the third-party IDs, like I chose iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and the rest. And then this is the region where probably this machine is hosted. This is my access secret, and then this is my access key, and this is when this was created. So now if you're able to do this, then you've created an audio and video recognition project on the ACR Cloud platform. Now after that, like if you can see, I created two projects here. So you can see that, and then if you go to audio and video file, after creating the project, if you go to audio and video file, and good here, now you can create bucket. Now creating bucket is like creating a repository where you can put your files in it. Now I created a bucket called test upload, and then if you hit this button here, you can see this is and I added one file in my test upload, and then of course this is the name of the file. This is the media template. So what you're going to do now is you create a new bucket. I hope the free trial will allow me to create another bucket. You create a new bucket, and you give the bucket a name. Let me just say test upload 2, or let me just say education upload. Then content type is music, and then network type, you can leave it online recognition, or you can choose both online and offline, but let's just leave it here. So metadata type, you can see it's asking us for album ID, album, artist, and track ID. So this is like, you know, creating the fingerprints of this creating a bucket. We're going to create a bucket here that will have this metadata for information that we'll want to create the fingerprint for. So we can just give the album ID. I created one, I give it coast to coast, you know, and with my name Yubzi in one. So let's say this album ID, let's say West Coast, and then my name Yubzi as the artist, and then track 1. So let's go right ahead and click create. I just hope this okay. Your bucket number exceeds the limits. Please contact support for more resources. Anyway, let's close this. So that's how you add that If you're doing this for the first time, that's how you add, unless you go for the paid services. So since we're on the free services, you add that. Now after adding that, you're going to have the bucket name here and everything. So you can click the bucket name so that you can add your files. So you click the bucket name so that you can add files. Now you can see I added a song called my song _1.mp3. Now this song, I downloaded this song from their website, so I'm going to upload this song in the project resource of this video here. So you have to download the songs and then you can add them up here, or you can download it from their website here. So now I added this song. You can just upload your song by clicking any of this. So if the song is in their database, of course the fingerprint will have been generated for that song. So you can just add your song title, and then you can see these are the user defined fields that I've already defined, so you can leave this default like this, and then you choose file, and then so you say supports any format audio video files of ACR. So these are the songs that I downloaded. I'm going to put these songs up so you can download them too. So you just choose any of the songs, like I have my song 1, my song 2, like that. So you put it up, and then let me see whether it will still allow me to put another song. Let me put my song 2.mp3. Let's try and upload and see. Okay, I think it's uploading. We hope it's successful. So good, that means I can upload. Which song did I choose? I thought I chose my song 2. Oh, I chose the same one song. Okay, so this is how you upload your song, and then you can see it's showing status processing. So if you want to the status to toggle to ready, you can just refresh this page again. So good, you can see status ready. Now what we have done here now is we've created a project, an audio and video recognition project. We've created a bucket, and then we've added these files, these audio files, to that bucket. Now this audio file is now a fingerprint of this audio file is generated, which is this. A fingerprint of this audio file is generated. Now what we were able to do is we have this now in our repository. We've created a fingerprint of this particular audio file in our repository. So now we're going to look in the next video, we're going to look at the C SDK, where we can manually look at this song. We'll just take a sample of this song, and then through our SDK we are going to call some certain functions of this ACR Cloud console, and then get this ACR ID, the automatic content recognition ID, which of course is the fingerprint. So we're going to create a kind of app, which is just going to be a console app, and then the input is not going to be any text inputs. We're not just going to put any text input. We're just going to input the audio file that we have manually locally in our own software, and then it will search, query, and bring out this ACR ID for that particular song. So that's what we're going to do in the next video. So for now, we are able to follow this process here. We're able to we have buckets, and then we have our files in our buckets, and then we've created projects, of course, and then now we're going to integrate the SDK with licenses. We just have a very limited license. We can just only create one project. So what we're going to do now is in the next video we're going to have our audio contents, and then the audio contents will search through this bucket here, this repository here, and bring out a matching ID. So that's what we are going to do next. So make sure that all this is working, and then stay with me in the next video tutorial, and then let's hit the SDK. Thank you. Hi, welcome to session 3 on learning how to create an audio recognition system using the ACR Cloud C SDK. My name is Ayuba Ojanugwamwazu, and in the last session actually we discussed, or rather we set up our dashboard on the ACR Cloud platform. Now in session 3 here we're going to work with the audio recognition C SDK itself. So there are a lot of SDKs actually that the ACR Cloud has prepared for us, in which we're going to look at, but our primary focus currently is on the C SDK. So we're going to download the SDK, and then we're going to make the necessary changes, and then we're going to run it and see. We're going to connect it to what we have online, run it, and get to see what we have done. So if you can remember, in the last session we created this, and then I was thinking we uploaded the my song 1.mp3, but actually it was my song 2. So you can update this information. If yours is showing my song 1, you can just go to action, and then you just check this, then you go to update video, update audio, and then you give it a name. Just change it to my song 2, or any name you feel like actually, and then you update. So that's what I did here, and you can see that the ACR Cloud ID, the automatic content recognition ID, is for my song 2 is this, and then for my song 1 is this. So now what we're going to do is, in the SDK we're going to still have this same musical file, the same audio file in our drive, in our C drive, and then we're going to run the SDK, and we expect that we get this automatic content recognition ID by connecting it with this. And then, like I said in the last video, you should also make sure that you keep note of this. Let's go to, you should make sure that you keep note of the host, the secrets, and the access key, the access secrets and the access keys for the project we created. So let's just go down and get to see it. So let's just wait for this to come up. So the internet is a bit slow, so let's just wait for it. Let's just wait for it to come up. Okay, good. So make sure you have this access key and then this access secret, and of course this is the host. So we're working with the music recognition. You can actually create anyone. You have different access keys and access secrets that you can work with. So now that we have that, and we've connected it to this project, let's okay, so how do you get the C SDK? Now you can come here, you can come to SDK and tools. Let me just open this in another new tab. Let's open this in another new tab. Okay, scroll down. We're looking for C#, right? Okay, C#. You can, before downloading, you can go to documentation, Windows 32 C# and C++. So it will take you to the GitHub page, and then you can see this is the URL link, the ACR Cloud SDK for C#. Okay, so you're going to download this file, and then if you scroll down, You can read the overview and then get to know about the SDK and what it can do. And then of course we're going to use Visual Studio. It has to work from Visual Studio 2010 and above. For me, I'm using Visual Studio 2015. I think I have 2015 and 2017, so I can use any of them. So but make sure your Visual Studio, it's the latest Visual Studio, either 2010, 2013, 2015 or 2017. So if you don't have these Windows Runtime Library, you can download this depending on your operating system. You can download any of these for it to work, you know. So and then you can see they say you can follow one of these. So we're doing this, how to detect custom audio content by sound. So this is the API. I'm going to explain what the API does and everything. So you can scroll down and see all about the API. Let's scroll down and see all about it. So scroll up a little bit. So you just go right ahead and download this, just download this. And after you've downloaded this, I think I've downloaded it and I have it somewhere here. I have it in my downloads. Okay, good. I think this is it. ACR Cloud SDK C# master. So this is it. So I've downloaded it and I have it here. Now then you go right ahead and open your, or you can open it in Visual Studio. After you've downloaded it, you can just go to this is the 2017 library. I'm using Windows 64-bit operating system. Okay, sorry. This is it, ACR Cloud recognition test. You can get to view each of the files here, so you can open this in your Visual Studio, the Visual Studio solution. So you can open it in your Visual Studio. So let's just go right ahead and open this. Let me close this. So invalid license data install is required. So let me close this and then let me open it with Visual Studio 2017. So we open this in Visual Studio. Just wait for this to open in Visual Studio and then let's get to see and analyze the codes. So wait for Visual Studio file to Visual Studio to open this ACR Cloud recognition test. So it's taking quite some time, but of course it's going to open. Okay, if you can see, this is my own project that I've modified, but I'm going to explain everything I did here. So okay, good. Now you can see it opens this in Visual Studio, the ACR Cloud recognition test project, and then in the right hand side here, which is the Solution Explorer, we can get to see the different files and functions that are in this system. You can first of all, let's have the properties. You can click here, and then of course you can view the assembly info.cs here, and then you can click here, and then you can see the references, you know, the C# references, and which if you scroll up here you should get to see these references, one of these references here. So and then if you come to the program.cs itself, I think it consists of like 4 different classes. That contains the audio fingerprinting algorithm. So I have it in 4 different classes here. So let's it's not responding, so let's just wait a little bit for it to come up. So let's just wait a little bit for it to come up. Okay, it's quite slow, but it's going to come up. So now these are exception as are called. This may be caused by extension. I don't know, did I press anything? Okay, let's close this. We'll get back to this and see what is the cause of that error, if it's going to affect our program. So these are the four these are the classes that constitute this program.cs. We have the ACR Cloud EXTR tool, we have the ACR Cloud stitches code, and the ACR Cloud recognizer. And in each of these, you expand this. So you can see these are different functions in the ACR Cloud tool, and you can see even from the function names, you can see what it means. You can see it says create fingerprints, receiving these parameters, you know, and then we also have create human fingerprints. Let me extend it a little bit. Sorry, Visual Studio is a little bit slow. Okay, so each of these you can open these like this function, and then you will get to see the codes. Oh, Visual Studio is really not responding. Visual Studio is really not responding. Okay, so you can see this is the code for creating the fingerprints, and then you can see this is like a description of what the code does. You know, these are the parameters: PCM buffer, query audio buffer, and PCM buffer length, the length of the wave audio buffer, and then this is a boolean parameter. If it's true, it will create the DB fingerprint. So this is the algorithm you can follow the code. So this is just for creating the fingerprints. Now and you can see we have different functions to create fingerprints by file buffer, create human fingerprints by file, create fingerprints by file, decode audio by file, decode audio by file buffer, get duration millisecond by file. So these are different functions that has been created out of this, and you can see it's a whole long list of different functions that has been pre-generated for us in this SDK. So like I said, we have basically like 4 classes. We have this, we have the second one, and then we have the third one, then before the main program itself. So you can study each of these classes if you want to go deep into the algorithm itself, the cryptography, and all the necessary codes required to get this up and running. So you can scroll down and then you can get to see with each of the description for each function how it's happening. So now, but we are not really interested in this. We just want to use this SDK and then get our own results. So let me just go here and close this to make it readable. So you navigate to the last one, which is the last class, which is the main entry point of the program, class program here. And then of course you can see now here it even says in the code, replace XXS below with your project host, access key, and access secret. So in here was XXX, config.add, we have host, config.add, access key, config.add, access secret, and then timeout. Now you go back to your dashboard, and then in config.add host, you go here, you select the host, which is what we have here. Good. So this is our host, music recognition, right? So this is our host. Well, I think we're using test self content. Let's go to the audio file and see which of the project name did we put our audio file. I think it's test self content. So we okay, good. Let me go here. It should be in the test self content that we created our audio file. So now from here, you pick the host of what you've created. I think to avoid confusion, let me just delete one. Let me delete attach and detach buckets. I think let me delete this. Let me delete the first one, the music recognition. Let me just delete this so that I get this process, so you get to understand exactly what I'm doing. If we didn't get it right, we'll redo it again so that we get it properly. So we have this project we've created, like I told you in the beginning, where you can just click create project, you give it a project name, record audio, you select this, and then buckets, you can select ACR Cloud or test upload, which is one of the buckets I've created. So after you've done that, of course, you have this. Then you come here, audio and video file. Good. You can create a bucket, like I have this bucket here that I've created. You can okay, let's just go right ahead. Let's delete this and redo it. Why not? Let's delete this and redo it, since they give us the capacity that we can do one. Let's delete this bucket. Okay. The bucket is still used by a project. Okay, so I have to delete the project before deleting this. Okay, you just create a bucket by coming right here, give it a bucket name, content type music, which I explained. Sorry, content type music, which I explained, and then you can put this metadata, album, artist, and track ID, and then you create that. So we have so we're able to have this, right? And then of course there are two files in this bucket that we've actually added, my music 1 and my music 2, which you can download the file from which you can download the file from the project resource. So basically, here's what I want to do. Let's go back to audio and video recognition. So here, just click here. So we're going to pick the access key. First of all, we're going to pick the host, which is identify EU West ACRCloud.com. We're going to pick this, copy this, and then you go back to Visual Studio and then you paste it here. EU1, identify EU1, EU West 1, you paste that there. Then you look for the access key again, which is this for this project. F9 ends with 978, so you paste it here. F9 ends with 978, and then the access secret for this your project is also this, ends with BI13, so which is this. So you pick this, copy it, and then you paste it here. So now once you've done that, then you scroll down. You can see, because this is the entry point of the program, so we've done this configuration, create a dictionary with these objects and this configuration, and then we call the ACR Cloud Recognizer class, and then we recognize file by this. So we put a file name here, like you can see here I have my song1.mp3. So the file that you've uploaded here, it's what you're going to put, the file name. So you go to audio and video file. You can put any file actually, as long as the file is existing in the ACR Cloud fingerprint database. We're going to get that. So let's just wait and see. Let's just wait and see. Good. You can see I created a bucket, test upload, and if you click here, you see the different files. So we pick this file name, my song 1.mp3, which is what we picked, and then you change this this line of code here to my song 1.mp3, and then scroll down. You also change here to my song 1.mp3. So from the SDK, what you see here is test.mp3. You also see test.mp3. So you change it to the name of your mp3, the song that you have. Now once you've done that, then you come to the project itself, to your project itself, and then once you've done that, you come to your project itself and then upload that mp3, because it's what we are going to use. So you're going to upload this mp3 into your local project. Like if you come here, if you open the SDK, like you come here, ACR Cloud recognition test, you go to bin, you go to 64-bit operating system, go to release. Okay, I need to put the song here, so I need to put the song here. If not, if I run it, it's not going to run. So this file has to reference this my song1.mp3 has to reference from there. So what I'm going to do right now, it's let me just open another. Good. I think I have it in test. Good. I have the musics here. Good. So I pick this, my song1.mp3. Let me pick both of them, my song1.mp3 and my song2.mp3. Because if you don't do this I'm doing right now, you're going to have issues, because it won't see where to pick the file from. So let's paste this here. Good. So we paste this here, so we can be able to pick the file from this location where our project is. Now that we've done this, and then we've put this, so we're going to see the results, this final line of code, the console.write. We're going to view the results in JSON format. So and then you make sure that everything is okay here, and then let's go right ahead and run this. So let's run this and wait for the result. If you try to run it and you have an error, I believe you close and restart the Visual Studio again and repeat the same process. So let's run these and see. So we have to be patient a little bit, and we get to see the results of what we have done. Okay, good. So you can see this is successful, and good. You can see this is successful, and then it has returned this JSON file for us. You can see the message success here. So if you get this information, then that means what you've done is successful. And then this is the automatic content recognition ID, which is this 3A7A, which is the same thing. It ends with 3A7A, A7, 3A7A, which is the same thing with what we have here. So if you do it for the second song, you're still going to have the same value. So Now we've successfully gotten this JSON response. Now you can tweak this JSON response and then use it according to how you want your project to be. So for example, since we're creating an audio recognition system, we can say that we can use this our response and then put it in the appropriate text inputs or the labels and then display it to the user. So what we have done here in this project is we've received input from the user. We've received audio input from the user, which is the mysong1.mp3, and then we've gotten the results. We've gotten the information about that song here. So you can see different information about the song, like this is the timestamp. This is a timestamp when this song was added, and then these are the custom files, of course, of the song. Play offset millisecond, I believe, is this. Pocket ID, which is this. Automatic content recognition ID, which is this. Title, which is the song. Duration is this. And then you can see these are the metadata that I created. This is the title of the song, name of the artist, the track ID, and this is the cost time, which is this. And then this is the status, the message that we got from this. So this shows that we have done this correctly. Now you can build amazing projects from this, where you just receive inputs as audio or video files, and then you can use it for copyright, for different forms of content identification, broadcast monitoring, and the rest. Once you have your audio is uploaded on this platform, the ACR Cloud platform. So you can just call that SDK, and then you can get to see whenever this particular audio content is played anywhere in the world. So that's that about this very beautiful and simple SDK in C#. So we're able to display this in console, but you can extend this to your web app, to your mobile app, or any other app that you're going to use. So this is just to introduce you to the audio recognition system of the ACR Cloud C# SDK. So once again, my name is Ayuba Ojonogwo Moazu, and then thank you for watching. Let's get to close this. Hi, welcome to the concluding part of this video series on how to create a music and audio recognition system using the ACR Cloud C# SDK. My name is Ayuba Ojonogwo Moazu, and this session here we are going to have a recap of what we have learned so far, and then we can see different apps that we can build from the ACR Cloud C# SDK. So if you could recall from the beginning, we talked about automatic content recognition, which is ACR. We talked about what is ACR, how ACR works, ACR algorithms, ACR applications, and then the ACR Cloud itself. And then we said ACR Cloud, ACR is an identification technology to recognize content played on a media device or present in a media file that enable users to quickly obtain detailed information about the content they have just experienced without any text-based input or search efforts. We said ACR can help users deal with multimedia more effectively and make applications more intelligent. So at the end of the day, we're actually able to create this where we obtain detailed information about my song1.mp3 without entering any text-based input or making any search efforts. So we're able to do that. So our goal of what is ACR was achieved there. And then we discuss how ACR works, and then we said we have a very large music database in which we generate the fingerprint algorithm from each of those audio files, and then we also dump it into a large repository of fingerprint database in which different applications will connect to the database and bring out associated information from inputs they have received, from audio inputs they have received from devices like phones, computers, and different input devices. So we describe how ACR application works, and then an example of application that use the ACR technology very well is the Shazam application. You can download it on Google Store, Google Play Store, and iOS. And then we discuss ACR algorithm. We talked about audio fingerprinting, audio watermarking, and image watermarking, in which we said the audio fingerprinting is the most reliable ACR algorithm out there. And then of course I show an image on how the audio fingerprinting is, in which I said each of these black dots just it's like yeah, you know, it's like the fingerprints, you know, of this particular audio that we use. And then of course we said the audio fingerprint signal, it's not bitwise in nature. Like it mustn't be completely it can tolerate noise and other external sounds out there. So we discussed that. And then okay, and then of course we discussed the workflow of audio fingerprinting itself. And then of course I said if two files sounds alike to the human ear, their audio fingerprints should match, even if their binary representation are quite different. Audio fingerprints are not bitwise fingerprints. Each must be sensitive, which must be sensitive to any small changes in data. So you know, we describe how the audio fingerprinting work. You know, we have an unknown audio, for instance, and we get the fingerprint extraction of that unknown audio, and then we search our database. If we get a matching fingerprint, then we display the information, just exactly what we have done. So we took the my song one, just like an audio fingerprint, you know, in our program. And then which is it, my song one, it's like an unknown video, for instance. You can put any video here, and then you get the results. If it's not in the ACR Cloud, you get to see that the information displayed is, the message is not there. So uh, so it is exactly, we followed this same pattern. So we got an unknown video, we extract the fingerprints of that video, we search through our database, and then we return the matching result. So that's how the workflow of audio fingerprinting is. And of course you can create very awesome applications out of that, you know, for content identification, for broadcast monitoring, for content enhancement, for audience measurement, and all that. So you can get those the audio as the input, you know, the audio content itself, the media file content itself as an input. Not just only audio, it works for both video, audio, and any kind of a media file out there. And then we talk about the ACR Cloud itself, the ACR Cloud company itself. We said is the first open cloud platform for automatic content recognition, you know, and they have services based on audio fingerprinting technology. So you see, ACR Cloud provides various audio recognition services for various requirements, such as to find music by sound, monitor media on radio and TV, detect TV channels for multi-screen interactions, and for copyright detections. And this is the workflow of the ACR Cloud. You have your content, you know, you create a bucket, and then from there you create a project, and then you integrate with the SDK, just like what we have done. So after that, we were able to also create our own we were also able to interact with the dashboard, with the ACR Cloud dashboard, and then we created a project, created a bucket, and then, you know, we added files to it. And then in which from that we proceeded to working with the C SDK itself, where we downloaded the SDK and make the necessary changes and the inputs, and then we detect audio content by sound, and where we got the metadata of the audio content in JSON format. So that's what we're able to do. And then we've got into this part now. In case the information we displayed, the metadata information we displayed, in case you want to see more about it, I think you come here. Let's come to C SDK. I think we can find it here, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, let's. Okay, good. I think you just come here. Just go to ACR Cloud .com docs ACR Cloud. So you just go to metadata, and they should display the result of the metadata we'll receive, so that you can interpret it properly in any of your. So you can see them different. We worked with this music recognition. So this is an example of the JSON format we received, and then how you can interpret them. So this is an example of the JSON format. We have this status code, we have the message of success, which is the status code 0, and then we have the play duration, just the same thing what we have here. So you can look at the metadata, and then you can call this JSON object into your applications, maybe your mobile app or any kind of app you're creating. So you can read the descriptions here. You see the music fields, the ACR Cloud ID, unique identifier, server time of sending results, music metadata, track title, album fields. These are all everything we're able to create. So you can just study these and get to see how it all works. So that is that about this project. And then of course you can create awesome applications, like I said, using the ACR Cloud C SDK. You can create mobile applications, you can create web applications that will accept audio inputs, and then query the database and then bring out detailed information about that audio. So I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. Once again, my name is Ayuba Ochonugwa Moazu. Thank you.